The National Guard may be coming to a city near you. The Pentagon is preparing to send up to 1,000 National Guard troops to Louisiana, according to a Washington Post report. Now, to be clear, it is a proposal right now, not an official order, but the plan will target cities like New Orleans and Baton Rouge through September of 2026.
There's no start time for the troops to deploy, and troops need to be requested by Governor Jeff Landry, according to the report. But that could be a likely outcome because Landry's already voiced his support for the troops being in Louisiana. So I guess it's a done deal. The plans come after Trump sent troops to Washington, D.C. and also to Los Angeles. He recently announced the troops will go to Memphis, Tennessee, and has eyed Chicago, Illinois as well. Louisiana Republican Congresswoman Julia Letlow voiced her support for the plan, saying, "I welcome a National Guard presence in New Orleans, an incredible city full of culture that needs help fighting crime and improving public safety."
Meanwhile, others are less enthusiastic about the plans. Democratic Louisiana Congressman Troy A. Carter writes, quote, "Our National Guard must remain ready for genuine emergencies like hurricanes and natural disasters, not diverted into political experiments in law enforcement. Louisiana deserves resources, respect, and genuine partnership, not militarization."
I don't know. Is crime not a...
Well, it's not a national emergency in New Orleans because their crime is down to the lowest point it's been since the 70s. So again, it's one of those things about D.C. where the word emergency is being misused. Now, of course, Robby, I'd love crime to be down to a zero, like President Trump is claiming it is in D.C., but it's not, and it's not. That's too ideal. You don't believe in fairies and whimsical beings, so let's just stop pretending like it's going to happen.
And murders went to zero, and carjackings went down.
But here's the thing where I say, okay, fine.
There's soldiers everywhere now. It's fine.
If Landry is a Republican and he wants President Trump and the cities all over his state to be federalized, and he's saying yes, that's the cooperation that I'm talking about. Start there and figure out how to help. Now, what I'm confused about is the Republican continuous talking points that these Democratic cities are in disarray, but Baton Rouge, where crime is very high in Louisiana, is Republican-led. And so that will contradict the entire narrative that he only needs to go into these these Democratic-led states and cities when he's going directly into his ally on his side.
It's nonpartisan. Here's a Republican enclave that needs some help.
So it's crime across the country so that he can stop blaming the left for all of the things that are going wrong in this country and be presidential. Try that. Be presidential and say, hey, crime is a bad thing. Let's try to solve it and work together.
That's exactly what we're doing.
He's saying Democrats are a bad thing. Their policies have led to, well, talk about Baton Rouge. Explain Baton Rouge to me then. It's Republican-led state. Break it down. Okay, and if you want to talk about emergencies, start with places like Memphis then. Start with places that have the highest crime rates in the country. Don't start with D.C. and New Orleans that has literally saw crime go down, both cities. And even though it's not to Robby's liking, many people in New Orleans do not want to see federal authorities there or the National Guard. So why don't you start with the people that voted you in unless you plan on being voted out in the next election? That's where I think it needs to start.
They should vote for different leadership, and if they don't, then they get if their cities are run by the same pro-crime policies that the Democrats endorse, then that's what they're going to get. And
that Republicans endorse too, because Baton Rouge must be pro-crime for it to be.
Some things are beyond.
Some people fall through the crack. He's getting.
Some things are beyond the ability to. I don't know. I don't want to send National Guard places they are not wanted, but they've been requested now by the governor of Louisiana, so they can be sent in. I don't think the National Guard is a permanent solution
at all
to high crime because they're going to get deployed and they're going to get undeployed. They have succeeded in bringing crime down in D.C. Their presence has deterred the kind of opportunistic teen crime that we saw so much of this summer and last. Now they're mostly just kind of standing around. You see them on corners.
And that is not a crime.
What?
To stand around, yes? So that's fine.
No, the soldiers, I'm saying.
Oh, I thought you meant the people that you said were loitering anyway.
No, the loiterers have been
They're just
driven
gone
into
completely.
The sea.
Okay. And the homeless people have been driven into Virginia, and they'll be right back. So everyone's gone for now. Everyone's gone for now.
Honestly, the homeless problem had gotten better anyway already compared to the
thanks to Democratic leader Muriel Bowser?
Muriel Bowser is doing, on terms of crime, Muriel Bowser is doing the best job she could have been doing, has been doing that all along. My criticisms of Muriel Bowser were always about her COVID policies. On crime, she's a sane Democrat. She's certainly sane compared to her own city council, which is full of radical left-wing lunatics. She's done her best. She's working closely with President Trump on this issue. She's thanked him for the National Guard's presence, while emphasizing, and she's correct about this, that for a long-term solution, the city needs to hire hundreds more local police, and she's right about that. I agree. And there's also the problem of getting the crime lab back online that I've talked about. They can't clear homicide cases, and judges won't convict. And it's a huge dysfunctional problem that all needs to be straightened out, and that has nothing to do with the National Guard.
Well, we've heard this twice now. So let's say if he goes to Louisiana, we'll see how that works out. But in D.C. specifically, we've heard local leadership say we need more police, we need more funding. We've heard in Chicago it said the same thing. We need help. We take the help.
Left really
we would welcome the help. Wait,
that?
We've heard Wes Moore say we would take the federal funding for anything that President Trump wants to work alongside us with.
More defunding
So why don't we do this? Why don't the federal leadership get with the local leadership and come up with a plan for, like, let's say the top 10 crime-ridden cities in the country, and make a plan that actually requires funding, community resources, and all the things that these Democratic-led cities that he doesn't think are being led the right way, and one Republican city, which is Baton Rouge, are doing wrong, and come up with a game plan. And then he'll be seen as the most effective president on crime.
Recruitment drive sounds like something many of these cities might need.
Well, they need to also work with...
I'm just glad progressives...
They need to work with the president
have
on this.
finally, or have they, I don't know, Democrats have finally committed to themselves the idea that their leading slogan of the year 2020, defund the police, abolish the police, Black Lives Matter, so we shouldn't have any policing. I'm glad they recognize that was maybe.
Why are you saying all these slogans like they all are the same thing? Are you ridiculous?
Well, they're
not all the same thing.
They were
defund the police, and you're about to tell me. I know I'm going to try to talk and tell you what my perspective of defund the police meant, and we disagree on this. People were not saying take all the money away. People are saying reallocate the funds to community resources so that police are not always responding to every incident. Some might be mental health issues, right? And then we're killing people when they have a mental health issue and might have needed some other help and assistance, as opposed to a fearful police officer that goes in there and just shoots somebody up, generally a person of color, because for some reason they're presenting more fear.
Okay.
So this is not like hard to understand. There's still community policing that I say every single time.
It's like when
we talk about how federal authorities could help out.
It's like when I say I want to make the federal government small enough so that I can drown it in a bathtub. What I actually mean, you don't know this quote? It's a famous quote from Grover Norquist.
Okay, tell me what.
What I actually mean is, let's just cut government a little bit. No, I actually mean let's make it very, very small. And the people saying defund the police did not say no, reallocate.
Yes, that's what they were saying.
Invest in, no, they were
yes,
saying
that's what it actually means.
They wanted no.
So no police officer ever. I think people enjoy being safe and protected.
All the police.
As a person that has family members that are in the police force all over the country,
right.
in different cities.
You're not a left-wing radical, and you were.
But also, no, even the people who are my left-most leaning friends still would like if the police come when they call them. Let's say something happens, or emergency 911, they'd like the police to come.
That's the hypocrisy.
No, but they'd also like if people are not getting killed that really didn't commit a crime, and the police are being called, like it's someone who's like, hey, I'm calling the police, and I don't want to be the one killed because I'm calling the police.
Yeah, they have private security and live in gated communities.
No, that's
the left-wing intellectuals who were saying this.
That's just making things up. No,
it's true.
That's not.
No, I agree with you. Poor people, even of a progressive or democratic bent, they don't want to defund the police. No, it's all left. It's wealthy left-wing intellectual type people.
And also here we are, right? We talked about how the pendulum swung both ways. All right, so you got now
Mamdani, who does want to abolish the police. I don't believe that he doesn't.
Are we talking about Mamdani later? We're talking about Mamdani later.
He can't admit it because he's savvy enough to know politically that is a losing view. So he has to pretend that he doesn't want to do that.
No, he's saying what it actually meant, which is what I just articulated to you, and he's going to continue to say what it meant back in the day. And if you look up, I'm sure, I don't know this for a fact, but if you look up an article explaining what defund the police means, let's say from 2020, you'll find the same definition that got co-opted, just like the word woke was co-opted by the Republican Party to mean something that it totally does not. It just means that if you are a person of color in this country and you understand all the atrocities that happen to you, you are woke and awoke about what can continue to happen if you don't. If you allow history to repeat itself. And somehow everybody and their mama took over woke and made it something else, and it's like,
what? You should
what?
do a segment every day, Lindsey, where you explain why some popular Democratic catchphrase that is or unpopular Democratic catchphrase means something other than what it plainly means.
Doesn't mean what you're saying that it means.
Yeah, that would be a great segment every day. Pete Buttigieg seemingly pulling a 180 over the weekend, criticizing his former boss, former President Joe Biden. We'll be right back after this.